just start. I I don't want to miss none of this because see, we tend to miss the good shit when you get irate or you get upset. So I need
Nah,
you.
man.
So
It's,
what's the rumor? What is the
ooh.
rumor about what the Lakers,
The rumor
draft for
is,
the draft?
well, it's not necessarily pertaining to the draft, but
But it's draft
the
night, and it's
rumor, right, right. But the rumor is they're trying to trade and they're talking to, I think it's the Heat about Andrew Wiggins and trading for Andrew Wiggins and then them giving up Dalton, Connect, and Rui Hachimura. Nigga, what?
why are they giving up
For
Dalton?
Andrew Wiggins?
But I'm saying, why are you giving up Dalton anyway? You only had him for one season. You got to
Listen,
give him a chance to grow. But I get
look,
what they're doing. I get what they're doing. They're trying to make a run.
I don't
With Luca
look.
there.
Andrew Wiggins though? No. And first of all, it's too much.
And on top of that, you
It's
need a
too
big.
much for Andrew Wiggins.
You
Yeah,
need a
like
big. You need a big. I don't know about. Hey, look. All I can say
man,
is
Trey LeBron.
I have no comment. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not
Shit.
saying nothing about that person tonight. Not doing it. So, hey, we wanted to let everybody know. Okay, look, it's draft night, and one thing I love to do is always watch the draft. That's one of my big things, especially the NBA draft, NFL draft. It's a staple. I've been doing it my whole life, pretty much. And here at the Cavecast, it's a way for us to connect with players and remember what they did throughout the season while they were in college, and even get a chance to have a look at some of the guys that we didn't know who were playing overseas and things of that nature, right? I don't know. See, there's a lot of talk about how deep this draft is. Like there's a lot of talent in this draft. And I tend to think they're right. I think there's a lot of talent in this draft. Comparably so to what happened in the draft last year. I don't think that draft was as deep and as talented as this year's draft. That's my opinion. I
You
will
don't think it's as
say,
deep as last year's draft?
I don't think it's as deep. I think there's a lot more talented players out there, versatile players. I will say
Hey, you
that.
know who I like though?
Who?
Jeremiah Fears.
Jeremiah Fears is nasty.
Man,
That is one of the
Jeremiah Fears is
better.
nasty.
He's one of the
Hey,
better ball handler, and on top of
yep.
that, he can pass the ball extremely
Yep.
well. I like him. I do like his game, but
Remind me of Kyrie. That's who he remind me of.
kinda,
He
not
doesn't.
quite.
He's not as quick. He's not as quick. He's got the handle. He's got the layup, the finishing ability. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he,
Kind of
and
like
he,
Kyrie esque a little bit. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
and he understands, what he's good at on the court, which
He's
is,
bigger too.
yeah, he is bigger.
He's like
I
6'5" or 6'4" or something like that.
I do like the Ace Bailey pick. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ace Bailey might be pound for pound the most talented guy in this draft because of the
I
way he
like
can
I
score.
like I like Harper too though.
Harper is nice. Harper is
Dylan
nice.
Harper is cold,
He
bro.
is nice.
He nice, man.
He is nice. I like his game. Harper, I do like Harper. I can't knock Harper. I mean, hell,
I
the
think
dude.
Harper. You could argue that Bailey's probably a better overall scorer, but I
I
think
think he is a better overall
I
scorer.
think Harper is the better overall player though, because Harper is a playmaker.
I can't.
Ace
Okay, I'll
ain't
take.
really,
I
you know what
can't
I'm
take. I can't.
saying?
I can't say that. Okay, I won't say that. Then here's what I'll say. The better overall player might be Harper. Totally. What year was Harper? Harper was what? A
What you mean?
so, was he a sophomore?
He's a freshman.
I thought he was a sophomore.
Uh-uh. They're both freshmen,
I thought Harper was a
as far as I'm
sophomore.
concerned.
Okay. Well, he might be the better overall player. I I'm just this
But
is
they
just
play
me.
different though. Like Harper's more of
Yes.
a guard. He's more of a point guard ish playmaking. You know, Bailey is more of a score first.
Yes, score first
You know, like they
mentality.
just play different. Yeah,
But
they just play
here's my
different.
thing. Harper's defensive ability is better right now, right? He's a better defender right now. Ace is probably a better true scorer right now as far as the ways he can score. That's just my thought. But that doesn't mean that
I
each
just
one
looked it up.
that doesn't mean each one of them can't grow into those specific
Oh yeah,
things. So,
for sure.
Oklahoma City just got Thomas Sorber, center from Georgetown.
Mm.
So I like Dylan Harper, but I really like Ace Bailey. I think that dude can. It's just man, he is a great athlete too. He's a great athlete, and now it remains to be seen if he can become a great defender. That's the only thing. So, and he's going somewhere he didn't really want to go. He didn't want to go to Utah. That was not on his list. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. You know what happens when you go somewhere you really don't like, and
Hmm.
your heart's not in it really. So we'll see. Uh, we are the Cave Cast. I'm Big Temp. That's Mike LaFleur. We came on here tonight. A lot of it is because the draft is going on, and we wanted to talk about some of the players that come up. Me in particular, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm looking to see who the Celtics pick. I know we get the 28th pick. There have been talks about. We've already had
We ain't got
trades.
no first round picks, man.
We've already had trades that have happened. We lost Holiday. We traded him, which I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not mind the draft, the trade that we did for Holiday, getting Anthony Simmons from
Man,
the.
meanwhile, the Lakers ain't doing shit. Ain't got no draft picks. We done traded them all.
I like the pick that the trade
Oh,
that they did for Holiday to get. That's a great pickup for a young guy too, to get Anthony Simmons to come to Boston. They got rid of Chris Stapps. They got I think they got what, a second round pick out of him too. So they got rid of Chris Stapps, and now there's even talks that there's possibility that they trade Jaylen Brown. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. But I get it because Tatum is going to be out, and we don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back after this injury. But
like,
I also think, why would you get rid of Jaylen Brown when he's a certified scorer, a leader on that team? That's hard for me. That's real hard for me. So, and I like Jaylen Brown, but it is what it is. But like I said, we came on here tonight because there were some things that have been said in the NBA, and Mike has really, really, really had some problems with a lot of the things that have been said across the NBA, especially by former players and their lack of respect for his favorite player as far as his GOAT, Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant. And I don't blame him one bit because I think it's really, really, really disrespectful for what these players have been saying, especially now that Kobe's not here, because they wouldn't have dared said none of this shit if Kobe was around. So I'm not gonna
oh, no,
say
go ahead.
anything. I'm not gonna say anything more. I'm
Listen,
gonna
this is
let.
all I want to say. That's all I want to say. Seeing, I mean, even McGrady said it. He said, "Well, if you put me on the Lakers and replace Kobe, we win. You mean to tell us we can't win the championship? Here's the thing, bro. When the Lakers, no, when Shaq in the fourth quarter and teams are doing the hack and Shaq, which they did a lot in the fourth quarter, and the game is tight. Can Tracy McGrady do what Kobe did?
I
No.
mean,
Well,
I'm a.
we'll go. Well, I'll give you some numbers. Right,
Okay.
2002. versus Charlotte in the playoffs. 2 for 6 quarter. That was game one.
That's fourth quarter.
Game two, yeah, in the fourth quarter. This is all fourth quarter.
Okay. Okay.
Well, most of it. Game two, 0 for 4, scoreless in the fourth quarter. Game three, scoreless and went to overtime. Scoreless in overtime.
Mm.
When they played Dallas, this was in 2005. Game three, 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter. Game four, 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter. Game five, 3 for 10 in the entire second half.
Mm. Mm.
Uh, Game seven of that same series, he had 27 points, but shot 38% from the field, 14% from three, had 5 turnovers, and they lost. Utah, 2007, 3 for 12, field goal in the entire second half. Game four of that same series, 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter. And then game six in that series, 1 for 8 in the entire second half. Now, that's not getting it done with Shaq sitting on the bench, and you have to come up and show up. That was McGrady's biggest problem. He was a no-show in the biggest moments, bro. You can't say that about Kobe. Before people get on here and be like, "Well, Shaq was sitting on the bench because he was either in foul trouble or they was fouling his big ass because he couldn't shoot goddamn free throws."
So here's one thing. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because like you said, people will say Shaq was. It was because Shaq was there that Kobe was able to win his first three. And people will say, or have been saying, that Tracy could have won one while he was, if he'd have been teamed up with Shaq. But like you said, he was a no-show in the fourth quarter. I will say, as a devil's advocate, this doesn't mean I believe it. I'm just putting the other side out there, what could possibly be said. People will say, well, if he had the opportunity to play with Shaq, maybe he would have been able to do those things. But that's just an if or a maybe. We have no idea. The problem with this if or maybe is we have a lot of body of work from Tracy McGrady, right? And we understand that Tracy McGrady never played past Mother's Day. he
You know
never
what's
got
funny about that
he,
too?
he never got out of the first round.
You
And
know what's funny? I don't. They're not beating the Kings. If he
no,
plays like that, they're not beating the Kings, bro. Let
but
alone the Portland Trailblazers.
But
What?
here's the fucked up thing though, because I think that Tracy McGrady and guys like him and Gilbert Arenas and anybody else who comes out of the woodworks now, which seems to be a growing sentiment, right? It's something that's happening. It's like a trend. They all tend to come out and talk this bullshit on Kobe Bryant. Like Kobe wasn't busting their ass and going to these fucking championships. The whole reason why why Dwayne Wade and LeBron and Chris Bosh got together, wasn't it the 2008 Olympics that they went to? And Kobe was a part of that Olympic team. And
Oh
they,
yeah.
okay. And so all of this shit starts happening. And I think Kobe went to a finals, right? Got beat. But then he goes back to another one. Plays Orlando, right? He wins against Orlando. And everybody's saying because he won and he went to two straight finals. Well, here comes Dwayne Wade and them because Kobe, he's going to win another one. He's going to get five, right? So they're thinking we've got to get together to stop Kobe because they're scared that Kobe's going to hit more than fucking 6 championships or tied championships with Michael.
Hmm.
Dwayne Wade even said that. He said we got together because we didn't want Kobe to get another one. That's some bitch shit. I'm sorry. When you got two
And
superstars, three superstars who decide they're going to get together to stop one man, and then y'all want to talk that same shit about how LeBron had all these guys made a super team to form against him so he could, they could beat him.
yeah, they
This is,
said that shit about KD.
yeah, they formed a super team to beat
Yeah,
him. But nobody talks about that same team being formed to fucking try to keep Kobe from winning 6. They
exactly.
don't.
But you know
They
what's
don't ever talk
crazy?
about that.
They be Durant is only good or bad in certain situations. They do the same shit with Steph. They talk all this shit about, well, look who LeBron had to play. He had to play Steph and KD and Clay and da da
True.
da. And then when you make the argument about how great Kevin Durant is, they be like, no, Durant's trash. He's not a leader. Steph can't play defense. He choked a 3-1 lead. They pick and choose when these dudes are good.
Let
It's
me
either
ask
they're
you
good or
something.
they're not.
Let me ask you something.
It's crazy.
Do you think that Tracy McGrady spoke completely outside of his neck? Do you think
Fuck
that?
yes.
Okay, so I'm just asking
He ain't even
because
got to finish it.
the
He ain't even got to finish it. He's
reason.
spewing bullshit. First of all, Dad, he was never. I want to nip this shit in the bud. He was never the defender that Kobe was. I need people
No.
to shut that shit down. He was never the defender that Kobe was. Stop it. He has
Yeah, you're
zero
right.
all defensive teams. Zero in his entire career.
Now
Kobe has 12.
here's what's funny about
12.
that.
Stop it.
I completely agree, but I think this is the problem we make when it comes to basketball players because guys will only look at one thing as far as scoring it goes, and they'll say, "Well, this guy's the
Or
same kind
offense in
of,
general.
yeah, he's the same caliber player as a Kobe Bryant." But you got to remember, basketball players play both sides of the ball, offense and defense. They don't come off the field for or come off the court for defense. Every play. They don't do that. This isn't football. So they play both sides of the ball. That's what they're supposed to do. And if Tracy McGrady wasn't good on the other side of the ball, what you could say is he was a great offensive player, but he wasn't a great defensive player. So some part of his game was lagging behind Kobe Bryant. And
And he
I,
was very inconsistent doing it too. Like
yeah,
he was up and down. Like he wasn't always. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Cool.
And the bad part about this is that I like Tracy McGrady, but I also think that for you to try to put yourself in Kobe Bryant's shoes and say, I would have won if I was with Shaq when you had, and I quote, he did say this, I never had the opportunity that Kobe had to win. That's a lie because the team you had in Houston, before Ron Artest got there, you guys were good. They were good when Ron Artest got there. The problem with Tracy McGrady is that he had every opportunity to show he was a great talent. He choked away a 3-1 lead against Detroit when he was in Orlando, right?
Did
Everybody
it
should
against
remember that.
Charlotte.
Did it against Charlotte. He
Baron
had,
Davis outplayed him, y'all.
yeah,
And this was without Jamal Mashburn.
yeah. Now, all I can say is that Tracy McGrady, I don't know if he did this because he wants to be remembered a certain type of way. I mean, you have a legacy, dude. You are one of the great
The Hall
offensive
of Famer.
players. Yeah, so I don't understand what the purpose of this was. And
We
it's
need more.
it's
We need niggas to be more like Charles Barkley. Humble.
and AI and AI
AI too. AI
and the,
too.
and the thing
Because
about
AI
it
know what
is
he was and what he wasn't.
AI was a bigger star than Tracy McGrady was. He went to a finals, and if anybody didn't have the team to actually get to a finals, who should have that complaint? It should be AI. AI did not have the
At
team
least
that should.
early on. At least
Yeah,
early on he didn't. Yeah,
yo, he didn't.
with the 76ers he didn't.
Yeah, he did
But
not. But he made it to a finals. He made it to a finals, And the thing about it is, AI understood. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna give my all. I'm gonna play my ass off. He knew what he was going up against with fucking Bean and goddamn Shaq. He knew it. But man, that dude, see, and that's the thing I say people don't understand. AI's heart was so big, he was going to play his ass off. But the rest of these guys show you, and I'm sorry, Tracy McGrady, great player, but he shrank in the biggest moments.
He ain't had the heart like Kobe.
No, he
That's the
shrank in the biggest
problem.
moment. Hey, Gilbert Arenas, same thing. Great player, had a good 2 year run where he was an all-star. I think was it 2 years, Mike? I think it was a 2 year frame where he was an all-star, right?
I want to say three.
Okay,
I'm gonna be fair.
okay. I can't
Yeah,
I
it was
can't quite
like
remember.
that 3 year run from like '04 to like what was that, the
Yeah,
'05 or '06 '07 season.
something like that. Yeah,
He was on a little tear,
he
so
was
it
he
was
was a
really that 3 year run.
great player, but he didn't win. He didn't get it done.
As a
And
three time
yes,
All Star.
and okay, 3 time All-Star. So he
Yeah,
didn't win. And to say that these guys are in the same category as a fucking Kobe Bryant is blasphemy. They're not. Because if they were, we would be talking about them in Western Conference Finals or Eastern Conference Finals. We can't do that. They're not there. And people will say, well, it's a team game, it's a team sport. I've watched so much basketball in my lifetime. And you know what I've noticed during that time of watching the finals or the playoffs? One thing I've noticed more than anything, guys that are great players, like superstar players, they show up in the biggest moments. And guys who are not, let's say they're just stars, they shrink away.
yeah.
That's, I mean, think
There's a
about it.
reason.
Think about it.
No,
Think about everything I'm saying. LeBron, when he got his first chance to really get a fucking ring, when he finally went to fucking Miami and they had that first chance to win, and it was him, Wade, and Bosh. In that first 2011 series, he shrank. He shrank. Wade didn't. Wade played great. Bosh played great. Everybody played great on that team. He shrank. He wasn't ready. It's the same thing with T
I'll say
Mac.
this too.
T Mac shrank when
I,
he had the opportunity. He was up 3-1 against Detroit. He shrank.
I'll say this too. The best players have. There's a reason why the best players have the most championships. Like when you look at all championships that's been won, they're all won by the greatest players in NBA history, being the driving force.
You know what?
Literally, Mike and
You
Kobe alone have 11 rings, bro. What are we? What?
with Phil Jackson as the greatest coach of all time.
What are we talking about?
And for somebody to tell us that the
Steph
triangle would
Curry and the Warriors,
the triangle wouldn't work
same
in today's
thing.
offense.
Yeah, that I'm not even gonna entertain that.
So anyway, yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is you're actually right. The greatest players of our time, in the NBA, they all have a couple of things in common. Listen, Jerry West is one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA. I am never gonna say he's not. He's the fucking logo for goddamn.
He's an all-time great. I think people confuse the difference. Like,
Yes. He went to what is it, 9 finals, 8 finals, or 9 finals?
I think it was eight.
Okay, so, and he won one, right?
Yeah, he was 1-8. Oh no, it's nine then.
Yeah.
So he went to nine and won and was 1-8. He won one
Okay,
and lost
so
eight.
he won one final, right? But that doesn't diminish the fact that he was great. He was great. One of the all time greats, right? But we have to be honest. He failed, and we know, yes, it is a team game. But context does come into play here. Was he the only person that failed on that team? No, of course not. But just like with anything, and I hate to say this, but we have to be honest. When a team is playing and it's a football game and you got a QB and the QB is out there and he's doing his thing, and let's say they lose. Who's the person that gets all the fucking credit for when they lose? It's the QB.
The
QB,
quarterback.
QB takes all the flack, right? Because the ball's in his hand more than anything. When they win, who gets the praise? The QB, right? Now just imagine you're on a basketball team and every player on the basketball team is pretty much like the QB in a football team because each one of them have the ball in their hands a lot, right? And one player can turn the whole dynamic of a team around. One player, the addition of one player. So, when the star of that team doesn't win, he gets the blame like he's supposed to. And when they win, he gets the praise like he's supposed to. Now, I'm sorry. Am I wrong for thinking that Tracy McGrady, when it came down to it, and he's the star and they don't win, wasn't he the guy that's supposed to get the blame? Isn't he the guy that they're going to set the most, you know, of that blame on? That's all I'm saying. He's going to get most of the blame. He's going to get most of the criticism. But the problem is this era now makes everybody think, well, you know what? Yeah, I was great. I was great. Uh, it wasn't all my fault. I didn't lose by myself. Nobody said you lost by yourself. But you will get criticism for it. You will. That's part of being in the NBA. You have to learn how to fucking win. And Mike,
Hey, you know what else?
you said it best.
No, go ahead.
The best players in our league are the best players for a reason, and they came through when it mattered.
You know what else I'm getting tired of people saying? They making it seem like rings are the end all be all. That's never been the argument.
No, it's
When
not.
has that ever been the argument? If
It's
that
a
was the case, I was just watching it. I was just watching it earlier. Joy Taylor literally said it herself. If that was the case, Bill Russell would have been the undisputed GOAT. It's never been just about rings. There's
no.
context. There's context.
Yeah.
Bill Russell, as great as he was not the individual player that Mike was.
No. He won. He
That's
won it.
not.
I want to say he did win some MVPs or won an MVP.
No,
I
the MVP didn't exist then. Remember? Because remember
62.
the award got. Because remember the award is named after him.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So he didn't. Even, yeah, he never got an MVP because it didn't exist at the time. Think about it.
I thought there was a most valuable player at 1962. I think there
'Cause I don't even
was.
think how many does I don't even think Will have any. I
Will
don't even think Will
Chamberlain?
has any. Yeah,
No. I don't.
maybe he
I'm not.
does.
I think he does. But
Honestly,
if you look it up, who won the
I don't know.
1962 MVP? I think it was. I think it was Bill Russell. I think it was.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I'm pretty sure. Uh, Walter Clayton just got picked up by the
Yeah,
Washington
I see that.
Wizards. But yeah, Bill Russell, and that was a stacked fucking
No,
MVP
he has seven
list.
Hall of Famers on his team, bro. I'm just
Well,
saying, y'all.
they were Hall of Famers. They were Hall of Famers because of Bill. Hey, how?
Nah, I don't know about that.
How many? How
I
many?
would give him. He does have like he has like he doesn't have a um what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
He has some impact as far as he does have impact as far as them
He was the ultimate
maybe
team player. He did
yeah
whatever they
like that's what I'm
needed.
saying like yeah exactly
And the thing about it is, Bill Russell wasn't the greatest scorer, but he played defense and he did all the other things that needed to be done. He came up with the big block, he came up with the big rebound, he came up with the big putback. All the little things that needed to be done to win a championship, he did it.
I ain't gonna lie though these numbers, I like Bill. But being he's never shot over 45% from the field is crazy as a big man.
Who? Russell?
That's crazy. I'm
Yeah,
actually kind of shocked.
I'm
He's
not.
he he's he's for, like I'm seeing 42, 44,
Yeah,
42, 43, 43. Like what was he shooting jumpers?
he
I'm
was.
confused.
He did shoot a lot of jumpers, but they don't really show you a lot of that. But he did. And he wasn't a great shooter. He was a decent shooter. So, uh, but
That shit is
let
I'm actually kind of shocked. I ain't gonna lie.
but like I
That's
said,
crazy.
he did win a championship or a lot of championships, and like you said, rings is not the end all be all. It's the way you win, and it's the achievements along the way for that season to show what you did, right? So to me, the way I look at it is, if a guy is that good, just like Tracy McGrady says he could have won a championship that year with Shaq or whatever. He may have been able to. I'm not going to say that. But can you sustain that greatness the way Kobe could? No. You know why? Because you couldn't keep your ass from being injured all those years. You got injured. And that puts you in a situation where you were not
Yeah,
available to play. And the thing about it is
yeah.
Kobe walked out there with broken fingers, dislocated joints,
The fucking knee was gone.
knee fucked up, kept playing, you know. Uh, I mean, he did what he needed to do because he had one thing in his head of what he was going to do, and that was win.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, this might be random. So I just happened to look up Wilt's numbers. Now look, I haven't been looking at Wilt's stat line lately.
Oh
Looking
boy.
at this shit now, this nigga was insane. What the 38 and 27
Yeah,
rookie year?
yeah. Coming out of KU.
Look, I don't give a fuck what era it is, bro, because nobody else is putting up numbers like this. I'm tired of hearing that. Look, I get it, but at the same time, if it was
I
that
don't.
easy, everybody would have been doing it.
I,
I'm sorry, and he was the only one doing it, bro.
yeah, and
38
that's
and 27 rebounds a game, 50 and 26, 45 and 24. These are insane. Nah, dog.
what's funny about all of this is that all this talk came up, and it gets you to thinking about
Crazy.
all the greats that came before and the ones that didn't win, and then you think about the ones that did win, and you say, what was it that they had? I mean, think about it like this: Mike didn't
Wilt
just
is the
win
perfect example, though.
exactly.
Bro, if Wilt had the hardware, it
It,
wouldn't.
it
Mike wouldn't have a debate.
because
I'm
those teams that Will played on were even with those teams. No, 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 no. I'm talking about as far as if you add them up 1 through 5, right? Maybe he he probably didn't have a better point guard, or he probably didn't have a better shooting
with
guard.
Philadelphia.
Yes, he did not. He didn't have a better
His
than.
teams wasn't. They weren't on. I could see it with the Lakers those few years he was there, but
Yes, that's what
Philadelphia,
I'm
that
saying.
team.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He probably didn't have a better point guard or a better shooting guard. This is that, right? But as time went on and he got to LA, he had better players there. They had a chance to win, and
Will
he
was known as a no-shower in the finals too, though. So I gotta
exactly.
hold him to
So you
that.
got to hold him accountable. It wasn't just that they weren't good or that they failed. Sometimes, and that's what I'm saying with Mike, there was something about Mike when he got to that point, and it's time, like the bright lights are their brightest, and it's put up or shut up time. And if you ever listen to Mike, he says it in the video. He says, that's a good man right there. When a man can talk shit from the beginning of the game and it's 0-0, and he's still talking shit even when he's losing, he said, yeah, you can talk shit after you start winning, but when you ain't talking in the beginning and then you start talking after you up, yeah,
Mm.
we'll see. And he's right about that, because think about it. Mike understood it's not about how you start, it is about how you finish. But if I'm out here and I'm talking shit from the beginning and then I'm talking shit while we're losing, I don't believe that you're better than me. I just believe right now you had a better day. And that happens with anybody. You can have a better day. But that's why they play a 7 game series, right? Because usually the best team in a 7 game series wins. And Mike understood that. You put me in a 7 game series, and I've got all the pieces I need for me to win this war. I believe my team, with me on it, is going to beat your team. And he stuck to that. I know that nobody's going to believe all this shit about Tracy McGrady. They can if they want to, but you got to really look at this shit for what it is. Tracy
If
McGrady,
Tracy had if Tracy had Kobe's mentality,
maybe,
now that's a different story.
maybe.
No, if he had no, I ain't even gonna say maybe.
No, because no,
If
yeah,
he had
because
Kobe's mentality, that's what he was
it,
missing though.
no, he was missing a back too. That nigga's back went bad. That's what happened.
You get what I'm saying though. You get what I'm saying. Think about it. Because here,
I
listen,
get it.
look,
I get it. But let's be honest. When he got injured and he started having those problems, he was spasming before that 2009 season.
I get that with the injuries and stuff, but I'm just
Yes.
saying, like, his mentality is the reason why he never won shit.
True.
Think about it.
True.
If
True.
he had Kobe's mentality, because I do think McGrady was more gifted than Kobe physically, because obviously he was
Oh, he was a
taller, he was
better
6'9",
athlete. I think he was a
he
better
was a better
athlete.
athlete.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a better athlete. He, like he said, like I said, he was taller. He could pretty much do
Yeah.
offensively, basically what Kobe could do.
I
Even though
believe
I think Kobe had him in like post game and shit like that. But
I
I ain't gonna get into all that.
I do
But
believe
I'm
I
just
do believe
saying,
he was a better athlete than Kobe. But I do believe that Kobe's mentality, like you said, was the driving
pushed him over the
force.
edge.
It was the driving force behind what Kobe was able to do. He had this, and I remember watching it
Because he
today.
had the tools. He had everything he needed to
Yes,
do. Because he could have been the defender that Kobe was. He just didn't have the mentality to do so.
he did.
Every night, night in
He
and
did,
night
man.
out. He could have. He had the tools to do it, bro. It's just he
And you
just
and you
Kobe was
know,
just a different animal,
but why do you think these cats is doing this shit to Kobe and talking the way they are? They're being real reckless about Kobe. Why do you think this is
bro.
happening?
You know who I'm dis. You know who I'm disappointed in the most though is Wade, bro.
Ah,
The fact that he
yeah.
said that shit about Kobe with Gasol, bro. Bro, that's so low. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Really, bro?
Nobody thought that Gasol was going to
Nobody
be a
said
fucking
that, bro.
finals MVP.
What?
Nobody.
Man, jeez,
Hey,
bro.
and listen, I'm gonna give it up to Swaggy P, Nick Young, because on
Yeah,
Gil's
yeah. Shout out
Arenas,
to Nick Young, man.
everybody else talked this shit about how at that time Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant, they didn't know who was better. Okay, that may have been true because I do remember being around at that time. There were
I
talks
agree,
about,
but it was like it was very brief. I don't want to
yeah,
hear that shit.
and it was, yeah, but let's be honest, like you said, it was very brief. And on top of that, on that show, Gil, he talks like Kobe is his favorite player, but he sure does a lot of fucking, ooh, he does
He's
a
full of
lot.
shit.
He does a lot of
He's full of
hate.
shit.
It's like real
More negative than
subliminal
it is
low.
positive.
Yes, he does not fucking root on Kobe the way he says. I don't care what he tries to tell or the what he tries to put on there.
Put it to save face. That's all it is.
I'm seeing it as hate. And I'm saying shout out to Nick Young because Nick Young fucking went off and told them, I ain't gotta believe none of this shit y'all trying to tell me. That's your opinion. I don't believe that shit. You ain't gonna make me believe that shit. I'm gonna give it up for Nick because he stood his ground on that shit. And I'm sorry. To me, the second best player to ever play the game it will always be Kobe Bryant until somebody comes along and shows me different. I just can't. I
Look,
can't. I
there's
can't.
probably only one player I would put over, and that's probably Kareem. He's probably the only one.
I
Like if
would
somebody
give
said
you.
Kareem,
I wouldn't
if somebody
argue
said
it.
Kareem, I'd be like, okay, I'm not gonna argue that because
No.
Kareem has the resume.
Yes,
Even
the
though I
resume.
don't think personally that he is, but he has the
But the
resume.
resume.
So
But that's the thing we were talking about last year. I mean, last week, right? We said there's an argument you can make, and if you have the
right,
resume to make the argument, okay, it's not like we can deny it. We can go through and we can nitpick it. Just and that's part of having rings is the ability to go through and say, okay, did they do this? Did they do that? Did they do that? Did they?
yeah, it's because
Okay,
they're nitpicking.
and
Yeah, exactly.
the last thing to show as far as a tiebreaker maybe is rings, right? That's
I'm gonna be
part of it.
honest too. I'm gonna be honest too. I don't even think there's a when it comes to Mike. I don't even think there's a debate.
I mean,
I really don't.
I
That's
don't,
just me. That's
but
just my opinion.
I'm
I don't
willing
really.
to,
The more
but
I be
I'm
looking at it, there really isn't a debate, y'all.
but
I'm
I'm
sorry,
willing,
there really
I'm
ain't.
I'm willing to take on that and say, okay, look, if you can convince me with this player and you can tell me why, and it's really got a compelling argument, and you can put it into words that make sense as far as the argument goes, I'm willing to listen to it. And if
Listen,
you and you might be even be able to
if the
convince
nigga
me
didn't three-peat twice, the nigga
that's gonna be
three-peated
hard to
twice.
that's gonna be hard to
You
beat.
can't be. This is what pisses me off. Look, like I said, rings are not the end all be all. I want to stress that. Look, I get it. The nigga three-peated twice.
But
You,
you know
and then
what?
niggas act like, oh,
But that's the
they
other
make it
thing.
seem like. Could you imagine if LeBron three-peated twice? We wouldn't hear the end of it. It would be. We would hear that. That's all they gonna say. Three peats. That's gonna be the first thing they bring up.
But he had the opportunity to do that.
Listen,
He had the
the
opportunity. He went to
nigga did
eight
it
straight.
twice.
He went to eight straight finals. Right? Isn't that what they said? Eight straight finals in the East.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so you had the opportunity to do that. The thing that
That's true.
irritates me about the talk about Kobe is that Kobe did everything that he needed to do, right, to be considered in that conversation as far as the GOAT goes, right? What did they say he couldn't do? They said that he couldn't win without Shaq, right? So when he was with LA and he had Shaq, he was the number two option, they said. But let's be honest, he was after that first run, that first championship, the second and the third championship, Kobe was not taking back seat to nobody.
Man, there's like five different times where Shaq said Kobe was the best player in the world. He was like,
Yeah.
he literally said, this is what he said. I'm summarizing it. He was like, it makes my job a lot easier and takes the load off of me when I get to play next to the best player in the world. He
Yeah.
literally said that.
So I'm saying, but he did what he was supposed to do, right? So he three-peated with Shaq. He went to four straight finals. Then they had the falling out. Shaq leaves. They say you can't win without Shaq. He says, "You want to bet?" And he proceeds to go to three straight finals after Shaq leaves, right? He
And that was
goes,
only what 3 years later.
yeah. So three more. He went to three more
I
finals,
think it was three
and
years later.
he won two more. And he won two more finals.
He
So
should have three-peated again.
everything and the thing about it is he did it all in
He
L.A.
really should have. He really should have three-peated though.
So
Y'all fucked it up. I hate.
I
Ooh, I
know.
hate y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all fucked it up.
Anyway, so
Y'all fucked it up, man.
every
If he would have
every
got that three-peat, I
well,
don't like it.
now everything that was supposed to happen that they said they wanted you to believe that maybe LeBron has done right. Uh, Kobe went to four. He went to seven finals, right? He's won five, correct?
Hmm?
So he's 5-2 in the finals. Two of them he won without a top 75 player. Correct?
And he has the most wins against 50-win teams or more
all time.
all
So
time.
everything they want you to
I mean,
believe that LeBron has, they want you to believe that LeBron did something similar to this when he's never won three in a row, not even as a sidekick. He's never won three in a row. Number two, he never went to three straight finals and won it, won two of them after being told that he couldn't do it with the star of that team. He didn't do it after being told, well, you can't win without Shaq. You know, yes, I get it. LeBron was the star of the team, but he went to Dwayne Wade, and that's the other thing. You want me to believe you're the greatest player in the world, but yet you went to another man's team to win, another star's team to win. You
bro,
went
you
to
know
a
what's so crazy?
you went
They
to
killed Shaq, or they killed Kobe for playing with Shaq, even though he got drafted there.
yeah.
It's not like Kobe decided to go there.
Not, he got
So
traded. He got traded that night, but it
okay,
wasn't. He never
yeah,
played
you
it.
get what?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Like they be killing Kobe for that and going to play with Shaq. But I'm like, this nigga left to go play with fucking Dwayne Wade, who already had a championship. Yeah, shit. Like Shaq
I,
was already a champion. Like
do
he
you
wasn't. He didn't have nothing. That's why I said
no,
when they automatically put these certain players with Shaq and think it's just gonna automatically be a championship. No,
no,
because the Lakers. It's not like Shaq got there and they were just winning, bro. The
no.
Lakers were losing in the playoffs with Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and all these dudes. It wasn't until Kobe ascended that they started winning.
So
Bro, what are
here,
we doing, bro?
like
That
I
shit
said,
crazy.
this is why I said the with LeBron James putting this bullshit out there about ring culture and shit like that. I'm sorry, this is what we play for. We play for rings. These are bragging rights for players, right? Hey man, you remember when we played y'all in the fucking finals? You remember how we did y'all? Yeah, y'all thought y'all had a chance, man, but we were better. We was just better. Do you remember when, they said that Kobe? We were talking about this today. So we had Kobe and T Mac. They're in an interview, and T Mac was saying about how they were working on their games and this is that, and
Oh yeah.
he said that they weren't keeping score. And Kobe looked at him and said, "What?" He said, "Well, we weren't keeping score." He was, "Who wasn't keeping score? I always kept score." And the lady that's interviewing him, she goes, "When have you ever heard of him not keeping score?" And Kobe looked at her and said, "Yes, that's the question that should have been asked. When have you ever heard of me not keeping score?" And T Mac looked at him. He goes, "But we weren't keeping score." He goes, 11-3. And T Mac's face, did you see his face when he said that?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I don't. I think there was another thing. There was another thing with Kobe was talking about with T Mac, bro. He's never beaten him in a one-on-one game
No,
ever,
no.
not one
And,
time.
and I think that's part of the
So
thing that makes me
I don't think any
appreciate.
of these niggas can beat Kobe
Yeah,
one-on-one.
I think that's what makes me appreciate Kobe even more is because if you look at his game and guys like him, like Michael Jordan, the thing that makes people gravitate to guys like them is because of their ability to play one on one. When that means when every chip is on the line, everything is on the line. They truly believe that they are the guy to take that shot.
But Dad, you know what that all goes down to though? What I was talking about earlier, the mindset, the
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
That's what to me. That's what separates them more than anybody is their mentality. Same with MJ. Could
yeah,
you imagine MJ's mindset and mentality on Wilt Chamberlain? As competitive as they say Wilt Chamberlain was,
yeah,
he wasn't Mike. Could you imagine that same drive and competitiveness
yeah,
and like that hunger to always win
yeah.
on Wilt Chamberlain? Come on, bro. That's why I said y'all be looking at like a lot of people be looking at like box score numbers and y'all ain't looking at the intangibles of it because That's what separated Mike from everybody else was the intangibles. Dominique Wilkins. Well, I ain't gonna say all this was on Dominique Wilkins because he was with a shitty organization.
Yeah,
With the Hawks, they were terrible.
they
They
were
they
terrible.
absolutely did nothing for him.
And
But
it didn't help. It didn't help that he was playing in
you
a
put
loaded East either at that time.
yeah that too. Yeah,
That did
that
not
too.
help.
But like that might not be the greatest example because I do think Dominique was very good and he didn't really get a chance to. Now, if you want to talk about a player that really didn't get an opportunity to do anything, it was him, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
they did absolutely nothing to help
But
him.
let's be
No
honest.
pieces, no nothing.
Neek
Like
had an opportunity to leave before if he'd have just went ahead and left. He didn't
true.
stay. He didn't want to leave. He had an opportunity to leave before. And a part of the reason why I said a lot of these guys, they don't have championships is because they got into situations where they stayed, the money looked good, and it was the old
Well, it
cliche
wasn't
kind of shit.
normal for them to leave though at
It
that
was.
time
It
though.
wasn't normal. It wasn't normal for them to leave and go
Like
somewhere else like
most
that.
players, yeah, most players play with their like for the most part they play with one team
The team that they
until
were
like the
drafted
back
to.
half of their career.
Yeah.
Right.
But that happens, right? And let's be honest. There's a lot of players that probably think the same thing. I probably could have won a championship too if I'd have went and played with Mike, right? I probably could have won a championship too if I went and played with Shaq, or if I went and played with Tim Duncan. There's a lot of guys that think that shit. But let's be honest, a lot of them guys were stars already. So if you going to go play with Tim Duncan, what you're telling me is that Tim Duncan actually was a better player than you, and you needed a guy like him to be able to win. That's what you're saying. If you tell me I could have won with Shaq too, what you're telling me is that you needed a guy like Shaq in order for you to win because you could never get out of the first round in the first goddamn place.
That's another thing,
So,
nigga. You didn't win one playoff game. One.
well, no,
Man.
one playoff series. He
Oh
won
yeah,
that
series. That's what I meant. Yeah, series.
not in the first
Yeah.
round. And the time that T Mac did actually win a playoff series and get out of the first round, he actually was hurt, and Ron Artest was starting for him. And I think Ron Artest averaged 17 points a game. Yao Ming was playing in that series, and it was against the Lakers. They took the Lakers to 7, but Yao Ming broke his
I
foot in the
thought
third.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
Ron Artest was at 25 a game though.
I think it was 17 for the season, not for the playoffs.
Oh, I was talking about just for the series.
Yeah, but he was averaging 17 points a game for the season, I think.
Right. I
But
remember that.
Yao Ming in that playoff, by the time the third game came around, I think he broke his foot in the third game. Dikembe Mutombo, who was older at that time, uh, averaging 10 points, 10 rebounds a game, he wound up fucking his leg up in that series.
He
The
fucked his
team
foot
was,
up. I
yeah,
remember.
it was his foot over his knee. I thought it was Yao Ming that fucked his
I
foot
think.
up.
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah,
So,
you're probably right.
but even at that, you had an opportunity. But the thing was, is that team went deeper than you ever took them. Any team you ever had,
One
they
playoff series,
they
bro.
went and you
Even
didn't,
Vince
and he didn't
got
even
even
play
Vince got two of them with the Raptors, and that
exactly.
team was worse. That
And
team
that
was worse,
and that's what I was
bro.
saying. And that's what I was saying. Tracy McGrady says this shit, but Tracy McGrady was part of the reason why they never made it out of the first round. Because like you said, he shrunk in the fourth quarters. When it was time to
Funny.
fucking win and the game was on the line, he shrank.
You know what's funny? There's this. I don't know which specific series it is, but Ron Artest was literally after the game. He literally called out McGrady and was like, he literally said he was like, McGrady has to get better on the defensive side of the ball. And I was rolling, bro. I was like, yo,
So I
when
mean,
has
listen,
when has Kobe ever got called out for some shit like that by another player?
yeah. And
Come
so
on, man.
that's why I'm saying we can say this shit all day till we're blue in the face about who could have won what with what team. But
Hold
what
on,
you're what?
just real quick. Now that I said that, so if he couldn't even stay motivated to be consistent on the defensive side of the ball, who the fuck was gonna check Shaq?
No, it wasn't gonna happen.
Who was gonna do it? It wasn't gonna be McGrady.
No, because
McGrady wasn't gonna do it.
Shaq was an alpha and Kobe was too, right? So
People talk
T
about, oh,
Mac,
they would have won these
no,
championships. No,
no,
the fuck he wouldn't, because Shaq would have been overweight and obese. Because he wouldn't have had nobody on his ass. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I
and
don't be
even
thinking about stuff like that.
and he even at that though, McGrady, he had opportunities to win in the first round and go to the second round. He has a track record of losing in the first round. You can't say it's all on the team he was with. He had a good team in Orlando. They weren't great, but they were a good team. But he did have a really good team in Houston. That was a well put
At least
together
the
team in
first three
Houston.
years. Yeah, they
Yes,
did.
that was a well put together team. Even that last team in 2009, I think it was. That 2009
Yeah.
team, if T Mac doesn't get hurt in that fucking season, they could have possibly won a championship that year. But because he
And
fucked
him getting
up,
hurt,
yes,
hurt plays a part of that. Y'all got to
exa-
hold him to that.
exactly.
I mean, injuries suck. I get it. But, like, injuries is part of it. You got to be available to play. And one thing you can't say about Kobe is that he wasn't available to play.
And the thing about it is injuries are part of the game. It's just like with fucking Halliburton this season in the NBA Finals. Yes, it sucked that he got hurt. I hated it.
I'm putting an asterisk. I'm putting an asterisk on it.
And I wanted to see him out there. This is that, but at the same time, it is what it is. You have to be
Fake
available to play.
ring.
Stop it. Stop
Hey,
it.
did you see what Caruso? You see what Caruso said at
Now
the
that shit was funny as hell. He said, "Now I got a real one." I was like, "What?"
bro? Why would you say that?
Hey. All I can say is, hey,
It's on
I've
the
been
record book, so I don't care. It's
I've been
official, so
I've
it
been
ain't.
saying it. Hey, but you know what that mean though? You know,
And
he
the
was
only time it's not legit is when we talk about LeBron.
well,
That's the only time it ain't
he
legit.
was a part of that ring, right?
No,
You are.
nah, he was. But
Okay. So,
I'm fucking
like I said,
good.
we have all these ideas of things as far as players go, and everybody has their favorite player, right? Sometimes your favorite player isn't the best player in the league. Sometimes it's just a guy that you really like the way he plays, you like his energy, stuff like that, right? That doesn't mean he's the best player. It just means it's the
Bro, I'm
guy
gonna
that
just
you
say,
really like.
hey, every time McGrady says some dumb shit, like, or somebody just bring up McGrady, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just post a meme of Baron Davis. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm just gonna put Baron Davis. They're gonna be like, why is he
Yeah,
putting that? And
it's fun,
I'm just gonna let them figure it out.
and
Just
it's
figure it
fun.
out.
It's funny because with everything that's been going on in the league as far as comparing players and shit like that, I really hate the fact that they're doing this with Kobe because Kobe is not here to defend himself. And I know I've said this before, but I really think none of these motherfuckers would ever say no type of shit to Kobe like this in his face if he was here. None of
Hell
them
no.
would. They
You
would
know what's
not.
funny about that? None of these niggas never said nothing close to this until now, or within the
Those
last 5 years since he's
they
died.
didn't they did not want none of this smoke. But now that he's not here, it's the disrespect. I can't stand it. I think it's bullshit. And I'm a Celtics fan. Let me get that. Yeah, if you've watched my show, you understand. I've said this time and time again. I can't stand the fucking Lakers. I hate the fucking Lakers. I couldn't think of a better thing to happen to the Lakers than LeBron James going there. But
You ain't
at the,
shit. Why would
but
you
at
say that?
the, but at the
Ain't
same
shit.
time, though, I'm gonna be honest about everything when it comes to that. Kobe Bryant is the fucking. There's no way in hell you can't put him in the category of the greatest Laker of all time. He did everything you asked him. It's between him and Magic. I'm sorry. And to tell me that it's fucking LeBron James and not put Kobe in there is asinine. Number two, besides all of that, the guy did exactly what everybody wants to, come in and accomplish during their career. He was endeared by many. His his franchise loved him. His fans adored him. He was revered by fans over in Asia. I mean, they fucking worshipped his ass. And the other thing was, people feared him when he was on the court. Right? He was a fucking legend. He's an icon. A a great. But god damn, now this is what we do to our greats now? This is what we do to our
Man,
fucking legends in the game. We do this type of shit. We talk shit about them after they are no longer here to defend themselves. Man, I really gonna hate to see what y'all do when fucking Mike is no longer on this earthly
is
realm.
this accurate? Hold up, hold
Oh
up.
boy. It must have been a trade. Oh my
No,
God.
no, 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 no. It's not a trade. It's not a trade.
Oh,
It's not a
okay.
trade. No, I'm looking. So McGrady was with the Magic in 2002, right?
Yeah.
Bro, Baron Davis was giving this nigga the blues. This nigga averaged 25, 9, and 9.
Oh.
What?
Mm. Mm.
Hold on. Hold on. I gotta look this up, y'all.
So Charlotte and then the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, in 2001, 2002, Baron Davis was averaging 17 a game. Well, yeah, in 2002, 2003. 2001, 2002, he was averaging 18 a game.
Yeah, because they were up. The Magic were up 2-0,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
they were.
And then lost the man. Listen, nah, bro. You don't get to speak on Kobe, bro.
No.
Stop it. I'm tired of
And,
these new niggas, man.
and if I remember right, like you said, when he was with when he was
Wait, what
with
team is that?
when he was with Charlotte, what team is what?
There's a trade,
For who?
but I can't tell. Hold on, I'm about to go to Sam's real quick. You know, he got all the tea. Fucking Lakers, man. I'm so. I just fucking get rid of LeBron, please. I'm sick of it, man.
Proposed trade from
Can we
Atlanta.
just go to the? Can we just go to the next chapter, please?
Nah, you won't be able to do that. He ain't gonna let that happen.
Man, just cut the nigga and take the losses, please. Yeah, I don't want to see nothing right now. And
Huh.
I don't understand what the Suns did in getting two centers, though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but because they just traded for Mark Williams too,
Oh, yeah. They picked up
and then
AC
they got that,
Pool.
yeah, and then they got that draft pick.
Walter Clayton is getting traded from the Washington Wizards to the Utah Jazz to go
Ooh,
to go with Ace Bailey.
okay.
Danny Ainge is trying to
I see
work
the
his
vision.
he's trying to work his magic.
I see the vision. I ain't mad at it. I wish the Lakers could get somebody.
Man, look, I think I'm about done with basketball for the season because it's
Shit,
irritated
it's
the hell.
over.
I know, but I'm just saying it has
I'm
irritated
ready for
me.
football. I ain't gonna lie. I'm ready for
I
football,
I
man. I
am
am
I
so ready. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
oh
I don't know if
okay.
you want to include this.
Go ahead.
Did you see what Jason Kelsey said about Josh Simmons today?
No, I did not. I didn't even get a chance to watch anything
Okay,
on
hold
it.
on. Let me go to the full quote real quick.
Oh
This
boy.
was, and it's not just him either. Bro, people have been raving about this dude. I'm about to, because I favored it earlier today.
Oh yeah. Oh, you said
The quote.
Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey said something.
Jason Kelsey said this. This is what he said. quote, watching the tape in college, it was absurd. This kid, Josh Simmons, he's like the closest thing I've seen to Trent Williams. That next level strength and athleticism.
Mm.
But then there was also a bunch of hold on. They've been talking
That's
about him in like like the whatever they've been doing before the what is that, the not training camp, but what's the shit
oh
before training camp?
oh
I can't
talking
ever
about
remember.
OTAs or
OTAs and shit like
yeah.
that. Uh, they just saying he's looking good, man.
Well, I
Real
believe it.
good.
I believe it. I do
So
believe it.
y'all better hope that this motherfucker ain't legit. Because
Man,
if he is, ooh, I'm trying
yeah.
to tell you.
And we got
People
somebody to
don't
protect.
realize Mahomes he's had a different left tackle the last 5 years. Each year, they haven't had any actual consistency there.
No,
That
they
is
have not.
insane to me. And they've been able
No.
to still do what they've done. What quarterback do you know can do that's done something like that? And
You
I know they
know.
just lost in the Super Bowl, but
Yeah,
that's
but they
not
went
something
to
you
three
see.
straight. They went to three straight.
Exactly.
All I got to
But
say is I hope that everybody's healthy to start the season. That's what I want.
well, I need them to be healthy the whole season.
Well, I'm saying because I don't want anybody to start off like there's been a major injury at the beginning of the season that
Oh yeah, I
kind of
agree.
sidetracks them and shit like that. I want everybody to be healthy at the beginning of the season. Get a chance to come in, show what they can do. That's what I want. I really want everybody to be ready and start off super strong. Just come out. Everybody's been talking shit. Hey, you guys are gonna be able to do this.
We're gonna be a wild card team, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that too. So
But yeah,
anyway,
it's that, and I really do hope Andy Reid really fucking he makes the run game a focal point in the offense. I'm not saying they're going to, because obviously passing the ball is going to be our bread and butter. We know that with
oh
Patrick
yeah,
Mahomes.
definitely.
But you have to incorporate a run game. You have to. I need him to get that thick skull of his. Please. This Can we have 1,000 yard rusher this year? Please?
I mean,
Please.
it could happen. It could happen, but I'm gonna
Please.
be
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I still think Pacheco can do it. I really do. If he's healthy, he's got a whole off season to recover, training camp, all that. I really do think Pacheco can still do it, especially this is a contract year too. So he's gonna be, yeah. We'll see though. But
yeah. So all
can
you
we
can
please
do
get
is
a
kind of
1,000 yard
wait.
rusher?
All you can do is kind of wait. I can just tell you that no matter what, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be a wild card team. That's just me.
Look, no, no, we're not gonna be a wild card team.
It's crazy how
Bro, don't
disrespectful people.
don't let these niggas. And look, I'm not saying we gonna win. Yeah, I am. I am saying we gonna win. Listen, don't let these niggas go. Get if they go to four straight and they end up winning this year.
Hey, did you hear what Rich Eisen said about them and
Listen,
about their record this year? He said that
who
he believed that Rich Eisen said he believed they would go 15-2 again this season.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Listen, people keep talking about the whole close game situation. Look, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, what if they get their offense together this year
yeah,
and games aren't as close as y'all thought as they were last year? Now they're not in the close game situation.
no,
And
yeah.
I'm
I
fully
think,
expecting their offense to be significantly better this year than it was last year,
yeah,
especially if everybody's healthy.
I think you're
And
right.
Jalen Warriors, I don't think people understand. Bro, I can't wait till the season starts, y'all. Telling y'all, man. I
Well, look,
cannot. And I can't wait to see Brashard Smith. Because I really
I'm
do
waiting to
think,
see everybody. That's what I
ooh,
want. I want to see everybody. I want to see everybody that's going to be a rookie. I want to see undrafted free agents. I want to see what they look like.
you know who
I
I think
am.
is gonna make the team?
Well, I think Brennan still will.
Oh yeah, I think yeah. I'm talking about receiver though.
There's a kid that they got. Oh, man, what was his name? Out of Florida.
I'm not talking about him.
I thought about him. Who are you
You
thinking
talking about
about?
Badger?
Yeah, but I haven't really
I'm gonna
heard
be
much
honest.
about
I
Badger.
think Thornton's gonna end up making the team.
Who?
Thornton, Tyquan Thornton.
Oh yeah, well, he's been
I
in the
think it,
league.
yeah, he's only been in the league 2 years.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's been in the league.
I
He
think the
he
reason
might
why
be because of his
I
speed.
think he well not it's not just his speed though. He's got size too.
Well, yeah, that
He's
too.
literally the same. He's the same height as John as Ross. They're
Yeah,
the same height, 6'4". But he
yeah.
has the speed element to him. Obviously, they want to be able to. I think he can be what Watson was for them in spurts. The guy that just goes down the field,
Yeah.
he's open, you throw it to him, he can go up and get it. I think he can be that for them
Yeah.
in spurts.
Get him in a go
So
route and just get the
yeah,
ball down to him,
exactly. He can easily do that, easy. So I actually think he's gonna make the team though. But
which would be
we'll
a
see.
good change up because you can't, if you have Worthy out there and you put him out there with Worthy, okay, who are we
And the
guarding?
amount of speed at that point, if Thornton makes the team,
Yeah.
that means you got Worthy because Royals is still a 4-3 guy. You
Yeah.
got Hollywood, and then you got him too. Ooh,
Ooh, excuse me.
let's
Y'all
talk
have to
about it.
forgive me.
You want to talk about
I'm
it?
tired.
You
I've
want to
been
talk about
tired all week.
a track meet?
It would be a track meet,
That would
and
be
that's the
fun.
best part to have is that now you got all your receivers available. All your receivers are available now.
Right. And Thornton's still young. I think he's only 24 or something like that. So we'll see, man. I mean,
I can tell
and
you,
look, I know he didn't turn out what he was supposed to be in like with the Patriots, but when what was that? Mac Jones was his quarterback, and their offense was already bad. So it's just
yeah.
like, can he really judge that off of? You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I've heard he's been actually performing well in these little small mini camps.
yeah, yeah, I
So
have to.
we'll see.
So we'll
Well, look,
see.
I didn't want to stay on here long tonight. I wanted to get in here, talk about what you wanted to talk about. I'm glad you got to get some of that off your chest. It wasn't just
Y'all
me
gonna stop
ranting.
disrespecting my nigga Kobe, man. I'm sick of it. Stop it.
And we have been
Stop
watching
it.
the draft at the same time. And so we got a chance to, catch up with that. But like I said, it was just a chance for us to get on, let you say what your piece. And I do believe that we need to stop this. I do believe we need to stop disrespecting our greats because it's bullshit. And I know everybody tell me, well, he's one of the greats. Y'all disrespect him all the time. LeBron disrespects himself because he doesn't know when to shut
Nigga,
up.
what is
He,
there to disrespect about LeBron?
nah, we can't do that. We can't say
I,
that.
I
We can't say that's as bad as
I
me
know
when y'all.
you ain't talking. You ain't. I know you ain't talking. That's
He
crazy. Talk about
he
we
has
can't do that.
won.
That's
He has
crazy.
won. I can't say he hasn't won. And he
Oh
is one
no,
of
no, we ain't gonna
and
take
he
that
is
from
one of
him.
the greatest athletes we've ever seen come into the league.
He's still a buster though. Like that's
That's
my
true.
thing.
That's not what I'm
That nigga's a
saying.
buster.
He is that. But he has disrespected himself a lot with the way he's talking
Nah,
and
you
trying to
you need
change
to explain
narratives.
yourself. You need to explain yourself to LeBron fans why you ain't got him in the top 10.
I ain't got to
Yeah,
explain
let's talk
shit.
about it.
But I
Let's
will,
talk
but I ain't
about
gonna
it.
do it tonight. I can do that on another one. I mean,
That's hey, they
so
gonna be like,
hey,
you ain't got him in the top 10.
listen, you
That's
know,
crazy.
you know that's the problem. Listen, I can tell you this. Do you think Tim Duncan is worthy to be in the top 10? All
Yeah.
time. All time, right? He's got
Mhm.
5 championships. He was part of a dynasty pretty much, right? He beat LeBron how many times in the finals?
Twice.
So he's 2-1 against LeBron in the finals, right?
You know what I just thought about? Now that you bringing this up, LeBron, he doesn't have a winning record against anybody he's played in the finals.
No.
What the
And
fuck?
that's part of the reason why he's not in my top 10. That's part of
I
the
just thought
reason
about
why
that. I'm like, you're
now
talking about dunking and shit. I see where you was trying to go.
that's what I'm trying to get at. He does not have a winning record against anybody in the finals as far as that goes. Think about it.
KD are
He's two.
tied. Him and KD are tied, right?
No, KD won 2 against him. He lost
Oh, you're
once.
right.
He lost once to the Oklahoma.
Damn. So he's
Think
not even
about it.
500 with nobody. That's
So
crazy.
when I say
That
he's not
nigga's
in
a
my top 10,
scrub.
when I say he's not in my top 10, there's a reason why I say he's not in my top 10. Because if I go and look at the guys he's played and they have multiple championships and they have winning records against Steph Curry. Steph Curry is what against LeBron? He's 3-1.
What about Kawhi? Kawhi is what?
Kawhi is 2-1 against LeBron.
2-1.
No, no, no. I take that back. My bad. My
It's
bad.
1-1.
1-1 against LeBron.
Yeah, because he wasn't on the first
He wasn't.
squad.
He wasn't on that team. Okay.
I mean,
So
that's still
he's
500 though. That
500.
ain't winning.
No. So he's 1-1 against LeBron. Dirk Nowitzki is 1-1. No,
He's 1-0.
he's
0-1
1-0.
against Dirk.
He's 1-0 against him, right? So he never lost against LeBron in the finals. Uh, who else did he play in the finals besides Golden State? Uh, Jimmy Butler in the Heat.
Ooh,
I mean, he beat them.
nigga.
Uh,
I don't even. Ain't nobody counting that. I don't
I'm
count
just
it
yeah. You now
for
you want to
LeBron.
say nobody. Now you want to
Listen,
say
listen. Hold
nobody
on. Let
cat.
me clarify. Listen, it counts for the Lakers,
Oh,
but it
I
don't
get it.
count.
It don't count for him. All right, but
Nah, I can't have that.
if you think about it, even at that though, he's never had a winning record against any of the guys in the finals. He went to 8 straight finals. He has a losing record against everybody he's faced. That's you know a great player. That was the star of their team.
I will say I won't necessarily hold him against the ones he's only played once, like Dirk, because obviously they only played once.
Nigga, I will. That's the
But
best. That's the worst one he could have lost
well, no, I'm
because
only
that.
well, no, I agree, but I'm just saying, like in terms of the one time, because
I
like
get it. You okay?
Kobe
You
lost, like Kobe lost to Ben Wallace, and they never beat.
but there's
Technically,
not
Kobe's
a
on one, but they
but
only
there's
play
not a
one time
list
though.
of them. There's not a list of them
You're
that you can
right.
say beat him. There's a list, nigga. I can go through a page. Here's the page. KD, uh, Steph Curry, Dirk Nowitzki.
How the fuck
Uh,
KD got you beat 2-1?
he might fuck around and get one
KD,
this year.
hey, you know what's funny about that? Real quick, yo, if KD fuck around and win, look, I'm not saying they're gonna do it. It's kind of a, I'm not gonna
It's a
say it's a
long
long
shot.
shot.
It's a long shot.
It kind of is, but like, they did go to the second round, and technically,
Yeah.
if they had an offense, like if they actually had scores, like if Jalen Green actually did what he was supposed to do, they probably should have won that series. But I'm not like if Durant fucks around and pulls out another championship or two with this
I'm just
team.
I'm just saying if you look at it for what it's worth,
I
Curry
don't know.
Curry has a winning record against LeBron in the
Don't
finals.
let Curry get another
Kevin
one.
Durant has a winning record against LeBron in the finals. Tim Duncan has a winning record against LeBron in the finals. Uh, Kawhi has a break even record against LeBron in the finals. Nowitzki has a winning record against LeBron in the finals. I mean, every guy who was a star on their team and played him in the finals They got a better record than him, and but yet you want to tell me he was dominant. That how does that happen? I'm sorry. I was taught how to count a long time ago. And the percentages and shit that you trying to make me believe are there, they're not there. Yes, he might be a great athlete, but telling me he's the best player, being a player means that you are winning at a team sport. And if your team is losing all the fucking time, then you can't be in my GOAT conversation. You can't. I don't know why that's so hard for people to believe or to get.
Nigga, 2011. Like I said it before on this show, man. 2011 for me was it. Man, hold on, fuck that. 2007. What the hell? And it ain't even about them losing. Like I said, it ain't even about
No,
him losing because
it's the way he
nobody was.
lost.
It's the way he lost. He was
But
dog shit.
but not only
Dog
that,
shit. Not
let's be
even
honest.
DOG. You know how you spell dog, DOG? No, this is DAWG.
But let's be
Dog shit,
honest.
bro.
LeBron has three really bad finals, right? The sweep in 2007, the fucking
2011.
yeah, the 2011 where he doesn't show up in every fucking game
That's the worst
against,
one by far.
right? And then the sweep by Golden State again. He's got three bad finals performances where he might have performed well in one of them.
Wait, you said the sweep. That was what year was that with Golden State?
That first one,
Is that the one where Kyrie and them got hurt, right?
yeah,
2016?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
dog. He was dog shit that series. He put up a lot of points and put up a lot of rebounds and shit like that, but he was
yeah,
terrible from the field. Shot like
and
35% and some shit like
yeah.
that.
But here's my thing: is he's got three of those performances in the finals, and they were bad. And I get it. You can say give him an excuse all you want to, but like I said, you
Hold on, I'm counting
it's
2017 too. Was that 2017 when he did that
uh
shit with JR, or was that 2018?
I can't
Because that was a
remember
gentleman's sweep.
they won in 2016, but 2015 is the year they got swept. That first one.
That's the one they're talking. Yeah, the
Yeah.
2015 one,
Yeah,
and then
so
they
that's what
won
I'm
in
saying.
2016.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but
the one where he scored 51, remember, and it went to overtime because of that JR shit.
that was 2017.
That was 2017, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that
That's
was
what
the
I
next
thought.
following year after they won it,
I'm
and they
counting
were
that
going to try to
too.
repeat. Yeah, uh, and that's when KD got there, and KD and them uh,
Embarrassed him. That
embarrassed
was
him.
in. Listen,
I'm
y'all
not.
can
I'm
talk.
not going.
I
You
Dad,
brought this
listen.
up. See, you made me. You had to put on the. You should be talking about why you ain't got him in your top 10. Nigga, I wasn't even gonna talk about this shit. But for real, no, for real.
No, listen, no. Listen. You can talk all this shit about KD going to the Warriors. At the end of the day, you still got to put the work in.
True,
It's not
true.
like just because he goes there, they just automatically win. We
Nope.
seen what fucking. We seen what happened with LeBron and fucking Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. They didn't just go there and just win automatically.
No.
Still got to put the work in, right? What Durant did those 2 years in those finals, embarrassing to LeBron. I'm sorry. Did you remember the part where KD just walked up the top of the key and
Yeah.
it said, "Flag"? He said, "Come on,"
Yeah.
and it sprayed it in his face.
All I can say
LeBron didn't
is
even try to get back on him on D or nothing. It was just a that nigga's such a buster, bro.
all I can say
Or that
is
one where
to
KD caught it in
me,
the corner and crossed him for the dunk. Oh man, don't
yeah. To me,
man.
the funniest thing about being a guy who's watched a lot of basketball and you see a lot of this shit is like I said, if a guy has a losing record against these guys, what made it even worse for him is that he went to all these finals. And in all these finals he now he's got a losing record against these guys. I can't put you in the same category as GOAT. And when it comes to the GOATs, I can't put you in that category. The GOATs don't have a losing record in the finals. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Because at the end of the day, yes, I know rings matter. That's what they say. But it's a part of the calculation. It's not the end all be all. It can't be. But if you don't even have that part locked up tight and good, and then you have a losing record on top of that, no, I can't do it. Cannot do it. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. We came on here. We wanted to talk about this. Like I said, we let Mike get his venting out, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm still watching the draft. I'm kind of hoping my Celtics get Danny Wolf out of
Y'all don't need to do
Michigan.
shit. Y'all got enough. Damn. You can't have everybody.
I'm just
I'm sick of it.
we're not we ain't got everybody.
You just got Anthony Simmons, damn it.
That was
You
a
don't need
trade.
nothing else.
I'm talking about here for draft night.
No.
Yeah,
You don't need nothing.
we
The
watch.
Lakers need to get somebody. Trey
Damn it,
LeBron.
Brooklyn
Damn
picked him right before we did. Shit.
it. Let's go, Brooklyn.
Danny Wolf is nice though. If y'all don't know about this dude, he's a forward, big
I
man.
feel
He can
bad from going to fucking Brooklyn though, because
and
they
he
are
can play.
ass.
This dude reminds me. It's shades of Larry Bird. He has got the handle, the
You
passing
only saying that
ability.
because he white.
No, well that is true. He is white, but I'm being honest. The dude is got
Ah,
he's got skill. He's got a lot of skill, especially for a big guy. So, anyway, that's all we have for tonight. I want to thank you guys for joining us. If you get a chance, hit that like and subscribe button. Uh, it's different when we come on here and we talk about topics that a lot of people have already talked about. We just like to give our say, and being that Mike is a Kobe fan, I wanted him to be able to say his piece about this more than anything. So, uh, if you can, like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. We will be back next week with some more content for you guys, and we hope you get a chance to join us then. So, as always, I'm Big Temp. That's Mike LaFleur. We are the Cave Cast, and we will see you guys again next week.